Hello everybody, it is the Amazing Gaming Guy here, and welcome back to the medieval castle, where this week we will be expanding our build with a secondary hall and some corridors, and finishing off the Great Hall itself, because we didn't quite finish off the back side of it. And that's where we are starting today, just coming around the back, getting rid of that yellow wool. That was my plan, and putting down some blocks to start off this back corner of the hall. Now, I wanted this to expand into another corridor that sort of goes off and towards what I want there to be a big keep on top of that mountain, or that sort of plateau to the side. So this corridor is just the sort of beginning of expanding towards that goal. As you can see, I'm just building up this little corridor here using a mixture of nether bricks, cobblestone stairs, stone bricks, and a nice dark oak wood. And I put in some more red stained glass just for a little bit of colour, a little bit of interest, because as I said last week, we sort of established that red and black will be the colours of the castle house, or the sigil. I should probably make a sigil as well. That would be really cool. I could get a painting, edit the texture pack, and make a sigil for the house of the castle. Let's call it a house. Let's go full Game of Thrones. Let's call it house. That would be a really good idea. I'm going to do that. So yeah, I'm just finishing off this last side of the Great Hall, and I wanted to make a big circular window right in the back out of regular glass panels and red stained glass panels. And you can see just coming in now, finishing off that window, and then I went around and built the actual wall itself out of nether brick and cobblestone and some stone bricks as well. And I'm trying to keep the texture going. Sorry, I'm trying to keep the texture going by making bits that go in, making bits that come out, giving it a lot of depth. So every wall has these pillars on the outside, this sort of external structure, and then sort of an inside area, usually nether bricks, but sometimes cobblestone. And that's where all the windows go as well. And I think that's quite a good way to do texturing, because personally I think it looks really horrible when you have two textures right next to each other that sort of collide. So you've got cobblestone and nether bricks, and they're on the same they're on the same level. It just goes cobblestone to nether brick, and there's no sort of depth to finding the difference between them. I think it looks very odd, so I really do try to avoid that. And that's usually my main motivation when I'm texturing like this. I'm trying to break up the different textures. Now, we're coming around the back of the building and building like a little corridor to take us into the secondary hall, which would be this blue wool outline on the floor here. And this sort of secondary hall is just sort of an ancillary section to the building here. It's just sort of a secondary hall. It's a secondary area. It's just another sort of open inside space for meetings and the court to gather if the main hall is occupied or something. I don't know, there's a wedding in the main hall and the small council needs to meet still, so they meet in this little secondary hall. And I looked at a few reference images of real castles, and I decided that I really wanted to build a tower into this structure here, and I want to put a lot more towers around the building as well. So I'm definitely going to go back and start to put in some sort of taller spires and towers into this building, because I think it really needs it to look a bit more castle-like. Now this one, I went for a different texturing pattern here. I'm going to be using I can't remember exactly what wood it is. It's a lighter wood for the back, and then I'm going to be covering that in dark wood fences, and then breaking them up with stone bricks, as you see here. And I thought that was quite a nice little design. It's very different to the Great Hall itself, and I think that's needed. Needs to be a little bit of variety here, because I'm using all the same sort of textures, but if I use them in different ways, it should provide a lot of interest and variety into the build. Now this little bit here, there's going to be a little courtyard in this area here. It was marked out by green. It still is slightly there, the green wool. And I've not actually started on this courtyard area yet, but I'm going to sort of have it sort of paved, but there'll be some trees and things, like the initial courtyard that we built on the front of the castle. Now I'm just going to take this opportunity to mention a couple of things that are channel related rather than build related, just because, you know, I'm not doing a huge amount of new things in this build. I'm just going around and copying and pasting the textures and stuff around. Steampunk City, there should be one this week. If there isn't, there will definitely be one next week. We're hoping to finish it by the end of September at least, and hopefully earlier than that, because you know, personal things are going to be happening soon. So yeah, we should be finishing that soon. I'm not sure we'll quite make it to 15 episodes on that, which was our aim to go to 15, but perhaps it'll have to be a little bit less, and then I'll do a nice compilation of the whole build, which would be wonderful. I might have to really speed that up, put it into like 120 frames per second or something crazy like that. So here we go, we're building the roof of this secondary hall, and again I'm going around on a sort of too high sort of design, stair block, as I do on, as I have done actually on all of the roofs in this build so far. And then we're just going up on the tower. I think that's polished andesite or diorite. Andesite, it's probably andesite. I think andesite is the light one. For the actual tower, and then lots of cobblestone, and I filled it in with wood in these gaps, but actually I went back and changed that to glass. And this sandstone I also changed because it looked weird and sort of stuck on, and yeah, there you go, it's gone. I then changed my mind and went to the same sort of line stained clay that I used for the dome on the Great Hall. I think I actually come back and edit that again. It took me a while to get this tower right, but I think by the end I was there. Yeah, there we go. Just building up a little bit better. That looks good now. So yeah, I think that's all we have time for today. Thank you so much for watching and joining me for this episode, and if you liked it, give it a thumbs up and comment and subscribe and do all those wonderful things. And if you didn't like it, then dislike it. I don't care. Well, I don't care. Well, I do care. I do care quite a lot actually, but please don't do that. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.